Her father, I'm the face of her, and I'm her representative in her fight to come home.
He came to Houston from his home in San Diego after getting word of Felicia's disappearance.
What's good, guys? Welcome back to the Milk Carton series. I'm your host, Stephanie, if you are new. And as always, guys, we thank you for tuning in for another episode. In case you've been wondering where have I been, you should go check out my latest video. It explains thoroughly as to where I have been and what's been happening with your girl. So go check that out and let's get into today's episode. Now, before I begin, I do want to say I try my best to report accurately, and if anything is incorrect, always reach out to me. You can comment below, hit me up on Instagram. Instagram is kind of the best way. The Messenger is kind of the best way to get a hold of me right now because it's a little bit easier of access than my email. And if you ever want to be on my platform, you can also send it to my Instagram. That way we can set something up and go on how you want to do. I always try to go with what the family or whoever wants to talk does, so that way you get your story out and you can tell the world your point of view of your missing loved one or a crime story. So let's get into today's episode. Today's episode focuses on 24-year-old Felicia Johnson. Now, this story, I didn't find out about it on the news. I think I heard about it on TikTok and seen a Facebook posting of Felicia, who has been missing. And I think what struck out was Houston, because I love Houston, Texas. So I was like, okay. And you guys know I covered another story on another missing young girl who disappeared from Houston as well. So I'll link her story down below so you guys can go check it out. So Felicia is a bright 24-year-old girl. From a lot of the interviews that I watched, her friend discussing her family, she was very fun, loving, and she was just determined to get what she wanted out of life. That's not a bad thing at all. I love a determined young lady. Now, Felicia was set to celebrate her birthday, and she lived in San Diego, California, but she wanted to go to Houston. And if you've never been to Houston, Houston is really like such a vibe. If you're trying to go to like brunches, the food, oh my God, Lucille's, oh my God. So that's kind of like what Houston is all about. It's kind of like this vibe that you're going for, day parties, strip clubs, all of that. Well, Felicia was set to celebrate her birthday and also try to get a job at a gentleman's club, a strip club or whatever. Now, there's not a lot of info to go off of, but what we have, we will share. And it's extremely sad because you would think that there is some type of footage out there regarding the disappearance of Felicia, but there really isn't any. So Felicia was last seen on April 15th of 2022. And like I said, she was set to go to Houston. She wanted to go and apply for a job at an adult nightclub called the Cover Girls Entertainment. Now, as the story unfolds, this is where it gets very tricky because Felicia does go to this nightclub. Now, it had been reported that she was waiting for an Uber, but the Uber never showed up. And a young man that I said to believe outside of the strip club had offered her a ride to wherever she was going. And she ends up going with this person. Now, her father is trying to get surveillance footage from this strip club so that way they can see her last, known movements of where she was. And I really do hope that they turn it over to police if there is any. They have to have something because it's a nightclub. You're in a popular city. Now, the family did hire a private investigator, and this private investigator did find Felicia's bloody phone, and the phone was found at Bear Creek Park in Houston. And also a lot of her belongings were still in the hotel room, and everything was pretty much turned over to law enforcement. And it's just so sad because as a parent, I can just not imagine the fear that they have, finding that and trying to figure out where your child is because their last known moments was with a unidentified man, for a ride. It's just so sad.
We need the answers because right now, grief is intensified without justice. And sadly, right now, justice is lacking for Felicia and her family.
Felicia's father claims HPD, the DA's office, and club owners are not being forthcoming about Felicia's disappearance. He believes she's become a victim of human trafficking. He also criticized Black Lives Matter of Houston.
Where are you at? I've been here 2 weeks. Like, you have zero presence. Like, reach out to me. That's all I gotta say.
And that is pretty much all the information in the case, guys. Her father, her family, they're trying their best to find Felicia. They are doing everything under the sun. You know, of course, they have a private investigator. The FBI is now on the case, and they're just trying to do their absolute best to find her and bring her home safe. They do think that Felicia is being held against her will and that foul play has been involved, of course, because her bloody phone was found and discarded, and it just makes you wonder. So on this map, I'm going to show you guys, of course, it says that Cover Girls is right here. You'll see it. And it's about a 13-minute ride from there. I wish I had where she was staying at. Then I could see how far that is. Because more than likely, this is like 2 o'clock in the morning or so. Probably roughly about. And this thing is about a good 12 to 13 minutes. Depending on the time frame, of course, because you know traffic plays a heavy ball, and that's a very big park. Is that Creek? Is that the park? Let me make sure. Yeah, that's it, because it has a different name. So the nightclub is about a 12 to 13 minute drive from where she was last seen to that actual park. And it looks very massive. The park looks it's a lot of green. A lot of green. But it looks like a lot of green. That's so sad. I hope that they search that area a little bit more. I'm not sure. I'm not 100%. I haven't seen that. Of course, I don't want to report anything that is incorrect, but that's what it's saying. It's truly a shame. I really hope that Felicia does come home safe and sound. You know, I'm definitely praying for her family, because as a mother, you fear, that is your biggest fear. Your child is grown, they're out enjoying their life, they're making their grown-up decisions, and they go missing. You can't find them. Like, what? Nobody falls off the face of the earth. So I really do pray that new information turns up. I'm praying for so many young girls disappearing as I took my break from YouTube that I was still following up on, and I'm just like, what is happening? Like, what is happening? There's so many people of color just disappearing, even more now. And it's just very startling, because not a lot of these girls are getting media attention, and I can only do but so much. My platform isn't super big, but I try my hardest. You know what I mean? Like, I really do try my hardest. So I am sending the family love and light, and if there is any new information that turns up, we will keep you guys updated. And if the family wants to talk to me, we can get on, I forgot what the thing is called, where you can like Zoom kind of like, and get the word out a little bit more to figure out where Felicia is. She's a beautiful young girl. I really do hope she turns up safe and sound. But as always, guys, you know I love to send love and light to the family and friends, and I am praying for a safe return for 24-year-old Felicia. As always, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.